In this course, there is no final exam. Instead of the final exam, you will be submitting a case study analysis, and this is worth 35% of your final grade. The paper is to give you an opportunity to put theory to practice. It's to help you evaluate a situation from an objective perspective, and the idea is for you to work with a situation that is personally meaningful and has immediate relevance to you as learners. To do this, I'm asking you to provide your own case study. So you're going to be discussing a situation that has happened at work, is happening now, or something you think needs to be changed. So to begin, for this particular assignment, we're going to start with a case study overview or description. You will submit a 2 to 4 page double-spaced overview of the situation, which is the case that you're going to be studying. Now, the situation has to be significant enough that it's going to involve individuals, groups, and the organization as a whole. So in your overview, give us an idea of the organization, a clear description of the situation, and who are the participants involved. Remember, as the reader, I do not know this situation at all. So you need to give me enough information so that I can comprehend what's happening clearly. My suggestion is, we have 4 case studies in the course that we're going to be discussing. Look through them, think of how you want to frame your case study. They could be a template, an example for you to model. The overview has to be submitted to D2L on or before 11:59 p.m. on July 16th. Now, this overview is not graded. However, if you do not submit the overview for approval, I will not grade your final paper. Now let's look at the final paper. This is the case study analysis, and this is due on or before August 17th. So here you're going to now take apart the case that you have presented. You're going to analyze it on the basis of the concepts and theories we've covered during class. Your final paper should not be more than 12 pages, so I need it to be at least 8 to 12 double-spaced pages long. Of course, this is not including your title page, your appendix, or references. How do you frame your analysis then? In your introduction, give a brief overview of the situation. I do not require a detailed explanation of the case. That is your case overview, that's done. This is just a brief idea of what you're going to be discussing and the problem you have identified. You also want, in the paper, you also need to discuss what are the symptoms that led you to believe that there are individual, group, and organizational issues that are present. Once you look at the symptoms, then take a step back and think about what is the root cause for all these symptoms. Identifying that, you're now going to substantiate your claims with, again, theory or models. Next is you're going to make recommendations for change. Again, your recommendations have to be on 3 levels. It should support individual, group, and organizational change. And your recommendations must address the symptoms, the root cause, and should be rooted in literature. Your conclusion kind of brings the whole paper together, but don't introduce new information here. The case overview that you submitted earlier, you can now attach it in your appendix. Now, if you want feedback on your paper and you'd like an opportunity to make changes to it based on the feedback, I'm open to that. My only requirement is that you email me your paper before August 12th. That'll give me time to kind of review the paper and give it back to you so that you have time to make any changes you want based on my feedback as well. The grading criteria for this, again, looking for content, critical analysis, so justification from the literature, You want to follow APA citation styles, use headings and subheadings, organize the paper so that it flows logically. Clear communication and no typos, no grammatical errors. Simple mechanics of writing should be followed.